What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mustard back with another video. Happy holidays, and today we here to review one of my most beloved franchises, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I had to get that brief moment of silence. This game, it did not live up to expectations. Dragon Age Inquisition 2014 Game of the Year. We waited 10 years for this game. And honestly, let's get into it. It's a lot to discuss with this game. So, you pretty much, at the end of Dragon Age Inquisition, you're pretty much stuck finding Solus. Because everybody knows Solus is a man of many names. The Dreadwolf, Solus. He a pretty shady dude. He does things to the world. He becomes the most wanted man. In this game, when you start off, you find him. You and Varric find him. You get trained by Varric, and you find him in Marathis. And keep that in mind. Keep Marathis in mind here. It's an important place into the story, of course. When you first start the game, when you create your character, and I need to stress this quite enough, the fact that when I started my character, I saw she, her, he, him, them, they. Stop trying to put this woke community crap into the game. It's not needed. Woke community, I'll tell you this. Before I even continue the rest of the video, I'm sorry if I hurt any one of you, but it's not needed in this game. Like, stop trying to make it, like, known in games. I don't care. I'm just trying to play the game. That shouldn't even have been in, because that didn't exist when the first Dragon Age came out. That wasn't even a thing, a thought. So, let me go ahead and continue with the game. You know, creating your character and stuff like that was nice and all that stuff. And they actually even let you create your Inquisitor from the last game. And you can put who you're in a relationship with and stuff like that, you know? So it looked like with the one strike that they already got, that they was gonna lock in and do pretty well and stuff like that. So pretty much, of course, when they showed the gameplay, it was the first 15 minutes, you know, before this game came out. You pretty much just stop Solus, and you do end up stopping him. But, you know, Varric wanted to talk to him. You do let Varric talk to him, but Solus pretty much explains he created the Veil to stop these two elven gods known as Algernon and Gillenane. And yeah, you're probably gonna hear that. Everyone who played this game in particular just probably heard their name so much that it drove them to insanity. So he was pretty much breaking the Veil to kill thousands, probably millions of people, just so that they wouldn't get out. So, you know, you try to stop him or whatever. Varric tries to talk some sense into him. He beats the hell out of Varric, and then you destroy, like, the whole little, I guess, spell that he had up or whatever. And then you truly start the game when you're at the lighthouse and you have to build your team and all this stuff. Now, before we even get started in here, I want to go over the first thing I gotta have is, one, I don't understand why Dragon Age went from a 4-man system to a 3-man system. That does not make any sense to me whatsoever. I very much enjoyed the 4-man system. It makes it so much better. Now, while we're talking about systems and all that, with the 3-man system, you can command your companions, you know, tell them whatever it is that you want for them to do. That's all fine and well, but they don't die. So, in the old Dragon Age games, they could die. And when you would die, you would switch off to be one of them. When you die in this game, the game just ends. Like, it's just game over. Like, reload your last load. Why? Why did we do that? And you know how I said that you could command them too? the big thing about this, which I've had so many discussions with, where the hell is the tactics system in this game? It just doesn't exist. This is what made Dragon Age what Dragon Age is. This is a big thing in Dragon Age. Dragon Age 1, they had the tactics system. Stuff that was revolutionizing gaming as a whole. That was something revolutionary. It was in Dragon Age 1, it was in Dragon Age 2, it was in Dragon Age 3. Why is it not in the Veilguard? Why did y'all take that out? There was no need for y'all to take that out. I don't understand that. But anyways, getting back to, the companion and all this system, I do like that they have the team alts-like ability. That's not bad. That's actually, that I'll give them points on. It wasn't terrible. It was not the worst. So I very much enjoyed that part of the game. Now, the one thing that I didn't understand was armor. Okay, the armor system, you could upgrade it and you could enhance it to, it went up 9 levels before it went from rare, uncommon, legendary, or epic, whatever that crap that that they want to do is. Remember in Dragon Age Inquisition when we could craft armor? Why is that not back in the game? What happened to me, instead of my armor just upgrading through me finding boxes in the game that's the same armor and it just upgrades from rare, from uncommon to rare, what happened to me just finding rare armor? And my armor that I have on wouldn't upgrade it unless I went to go physically upgrade it myself, but it would never become rare armor just randomly after hitting a box or something like that. I don't understand why they did the armor system the way they did. It was very, to me, bad. Like I said, Inquisition had the crafting system and that was pretty nice. I don't know why they took that out. That was pretty neat. And it almost defeats the purpose of going to merchants too, because you're not expecting to go to a store in some random town or whatever and actually find some good armor because it's great armor and it makes your character better. No, that literally kind of doesn't exist in this game. You can, but your armor is just gonna upgrade the more you play and the more little giant boxes you found scattered around the world. So I was like, The only thing that I'll say that they do good for a shop was they brought back in the Black Emporium, which was a Dragon Age staple. I will give them their one-ups on that. Wasn't expecting that to be in the game. It comes pretty decently into the, I think about maybe 50 or 60% of the game that I was in, then you see the Black Emporium. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But let's get on to the next topic of this game, because you're gonna be fighting Algernon and Gillenane. Let's talk about them for a little bit. Algernon and Gillenane. And yes, I'm saying this so much because this is how much that they say it in the game. They it's annoying to hear. What you're watching right now actually is Solus, who you get guidance from. The dude that you don't trust, you're getting guidance from. A little stupid to me. But he's stuck in the veil and he can't get out because he doesn't have his he has this little knife, little magical knife or whatever. He can't get out of it. He's stuck in there. The two elven gods you're fighting, they try to they end up using the red lyrium, which, something that they brought back from Dragon Age 2. With this being said, they could blight dragons, which dragons they couldn't be blighted. That's, I didn't understand that. But, they needed an army. Algernon and Gillenane needed an army. So they got the Antom, the Venatori, and of course, the problem that I have, the Darkspawn, they're the weakest group out of all the groups in this game. Yeah, the Darkspawn. The group that nobody really knew how to stop, why that they were there, and why there's already been 5 blights in this world. The Darkspawn. Probably the weakest enemy out of the... I fought more Venatori probably than I fought Darkspawn. You don't really start fighting the Darkspawn again until towards the... You fight them throughout the game, but you don't mostly fight them until the end of the game. I'm Okay, why did y'all do that? Stupid decision. Anyways, yeah, you're supposed to stop them because they just believe they can do whatever they want. Cool, whatever. The next topic. Let's get into the companions. And when I stress this, I feel like the story isn't that long, but the companions make the game longer, especially if you do their side stuff and stuff like that. Like, of course, when you meet some of them, they're part of the story because it doesn't progress or whatever. But let's start off with the two companions that they give you in the game. Lace Harding is number one. Of course, Lace was part of the Inquisition in Dragon Age Inquisition. She wasn't a bad character in this game. It was just about her learning her heritage about, the dwarves. And she got powers, which they even say it in the game. How does she get powers? Dwarves aren't connected to the Fade, so that didn't really make any sense. But, they just went along with it anyways. Because, fuck you. It's like, that's just how it is. Her character wasn't bad. She was she just wanted to learn about her people, and that wasn't bad. I'll say that. The next character we got here is Nev. And Nev is the Lady of Malrathis. I call her what is known as to this the independent woman. Like, all she wants to do is work and work and work and work and work and work. Like, literally, that's all she does. And pretty much her story is she wants to keep her city safe, and some blighted woman that she knows is trying to. I think that lady was using like red lyrium. I didn't really care about her story. Y'all ain't gonna hold you up. Not interesting. And of course, she's part of the Shadow Dragons, which is one of the main groups that is gonna play a big story into the game later on here. But moving on, next we have Lucanus. He's a dude that y'all saw at the beginning of the video. He's part of Treviso, and his story is you're pretty much trying to find his grandmother, and you pretty much find out that his cousin was the one who took his grandmother because he wanted power, and like nobody really listened to him. His story was stupid. I ain't gonna lie. Lucanus' story was stupid. I didn't like it at all. And also, Lucanus is dealing with the demon in his head called Spite, who comes out, so he can't sleep. If he sleeps, like, Spite comes out, and it's hard for him to control it. I thought that was dumb. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I thought it was dumb. Like, I didn't care for it. Like, moving on. just moving on. Davrin. He was the Grey Warden that has the Griffin with him. I can't think of the Griffin's name right now. It'll come to me. Anyways, his story was pretty much to get the Griffin's family back to him because it was stolen by a blighted old Grey Warden who can't remember who she is. But she wanted to blight the Griffins and use them for something better. Him as a character wasn't bad. It was pretty much him learning how to understand the Griffins, and his story wasn't really that bad. It was alright. Like, could have been better, but like, why are we doing that when there's a whole war going on? You know what I'm saying? Moving on, we're going to move on to Emmerich, or Emmerich, or however you want to pronounce him. He's part of Necropolis, and he enjoys the dead. He believes into the dead, and, his story is pretty much that he wants to become a lich, but he's scared. He's scared of death, even though he plays with death all the time, which literally made no sense to me. You're scared of something you play with. What? And he's pretty much trying to stop his old... She like this old lady, y'all. She was like my old companion, man. This woman's like an old coworker, bro. I ain't gonna hold you up. Like, let's be honest. She an old coworker who wanted to use the Lich for evil. Come on, bro. Like, his story was... you kind of just played through it. Like, I ain't gonna say it was bad. You just like... Okay, like, when am I gonna go fight the real villains? Because, like, cool. Moving on, we got Bellara, which she's like the third companion you meet, actually. And, she is a veil jumper. Now, when Solus created the veil, there was people who started to understand the veil and, can go through the veil and all this other stuff and can go into the fade, therefore the veil jumpers. Yeah, she pretty much, through the main game too, fixes the illusion that Souls gives you to use to go from place to place. You can just hop around, fast travel, and all that stuff. And pretty much her story was she thought her brother was dead, and turns out that he wasn't. He was helping one of the hidden ones, I believe, and he was just some evil dude who was, killing the elves or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And she had like this heart-stopping story. Now her character is kind of annoying because she's like the character who has like anxiety and, she talks a lot. And yeah, you'd be like, yeah, sometimes you need to just sit down and be quiet. I ain't gonna hold you up. Like, sorry to be mean to all y'all out there who has anxiety, but sometimes it can be too much for people who do. And y'all be like freaking out too much. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes don't beat me up for that, y'all. It's that character had a lot going on, and most of the time, like when she would freak out or stuff like that, I didn't care. Like, I'm here to fight dragons and beat up Darkspawn, not worry about your problems. And the last companion, when I mean that this companion, this is strike 2. You know how I said strike 1 actually was the he, him, them? The woke community strikes back again with the last companion, Tosh. She's a Quinari, okay? And her mom wants her to have her Quinari, heritage and stuff like that. She wants to be Rivian or whatever, but she didn't know which one to be. She didn't want to disappoint her mom. This character was very dumb because it was like I'm watching a grown woman. I'm sorry, not woman, guys, because I don't want to be called a woman. I want to be they, them. I don't care about none of that, bro. We got people dying out here. Dragons flying around the world. People's cities being blighted. And, I don't know what I want to be. I don't know what gender role I want to be. Man, if you don't get out of here with that crap, bro, man, y'all don't know how many times I lost it playing this game, trying to finish her story and all like the side quests she had because we was worried about the wrong things. BioWare, if you get the chance to make another Dragon Age game, because right now I feel like all y'all writing off of is if Mass Effect 5 is going to do well, or otherwise, if that don't do well, y'all going to be looking like Ubisoft here in a minute. EA going to probably shut y'all down and put y'all with Respawn or something like that, and they're already milking Respawn as it is. But anyways, never make a companion like this again. Anyways, pretty much the end of Tasha's story was she could breathe fire, and that's not very known in the Quinari world. Like, it's like a once in a generation thing for a Quinari to breathe fire. And pretty much some dude called the Dragon King wanted it, and he killed her mom, and yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. Her story was dumb as it is, but the fact that she was fighting her mom, acting like a child, and then we had the woke community already up in there talking about she's like, I don't know what gender I want to be. I don't like she, but my mom says I dress like a dude, but I don't want to disrespect my mom. I just want to be called they, them. Man, if you don't get out of here with that crap, bro, like, I better not ever hear that. I better not ever hear, see, or think about it again in a Dragon Age game again. What are you doing? Why? And stop, BioWare. We just gonna move on from there. We wrapping up companions. This is the companions and finishing their stories alone is about 60 to 70% of the game. I'm like, what? Confused. I was confused. Anyways, moving on. You do see some returning characters. Morgan, which felt like a politician more than anything. Just her character didn't. I don't know. Her character just wasn't really it for me. Like it was in the first game. Isabella becomes part of the Lords of the Fortune is when you meet Tosh. And, you know, pretty much she was in Dragon Age 2. She was all about that, I want that money, that cash. So her character kind of fit. Like, I get it. Dorian, he steps in to help you when you try to tell the first warden that, you know, the elven gods are here and they ain't messing around. The first warden kind of just treats you like crap. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm so glad he died because he a piece of crap. It irritated me. The thing that I don't like about the returning characters, they don't do anything. You talk to them about your strategies, but they don't do any. I get it, it's your story, but they don't do anything. At least the side character stuff like that, even in cutscene or something like that, they'll make them fight, they'll have them help. You'll see them again like in the middle. These characters do nothing in this game. They don't help you. They're just there. They were just there for the appearance. Like, they're just like, oh yeah, guys, here's the old Dragon Age characters. Here, you did you get to see him again? Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you got to see him again. They're not gonna help you at all. Like, what the heck? It was disrespectful. It was for a Dragon Age fan, me and all these people who played, disrespectful. We waited 10 years for this. We waited 10 years for this. And now let's move on to the next section of the game, which was the last part of the game. You know, you stop in Algernon and Gilnean, because yes, they blighted dragons. The Darkspawn was there. Before we even get on to that, the one part I wanted to talk about was what was up with the boils in this game. You know how you had to run around and like hit a boil and then hit another boil just to open a wall. I think that was stupid. I think they used that up too much. I don't know what was up with that. That was when the Darkspawn mattered, when they wanted to have you go through that pointless mini game. That was stupid. Like, I didn't too many times. Like, the first few times, okay. Doing it through the whole game, not necessary. Moving on. Anyways, pretty much towards the end of the game, oh yeah, actually, before we move on towards the end of the game, there was one big thing that also made me mad too. So, you guys know at the end of Dragon Age 1, right? When you had to, you know, kill the Archdemon. Yeah, you kill one in there. And also, remember this. Remember when you killed the Archdemon that, if you're a Grey Warden, right? So when you kill the Archdemon, you die. Yeah, that got completely taken out of this game. You kill an Archdemon about halfway through this game, and you just live. You just live. Cool. Like, disappointed. I was disappointed when it happened. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty I had to take a moment of silence there because it was like why do we do that? But anyways, moving on towards the end, you had to fight Algernon and Gilnean. Yeah, I know I've stressed that out too much because that's what they do to you. You gotta hear their names like 70 million times. It's so great, guys. Anyways, you fight them towards the end of the game or whatever, and when you're fighting them, I think you get to pick what companion dies because a companion has to die. For me, it was Harding. It could be different for other people. I don't know. They spend too much time in this game for you to be a goody two-shoes. You never really feel like a villain in this game too, by the way. It's just like, you're so goody two-shoes. You can't make the wrong decisions. You can't do none of that stuff. So, cool beans, I guess. But anyways, after you do all of that and you fight them or whatever, there's this big part in the game where you get knocked out. And, you know, after you pick what companion dies, I guess, or whatever. And Varric's pretty much like, oh yeah, get back up. We need you in the fight and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. Just to turn out that at the beginning of the game, you know, this was a big plot twist too, you know. When he dies, bro, he dies. When Solus hits him, that's what I meant to say. When Solus hits him, he just dies. You know, Varric. Don't get me wrong, too. I'm not a big Varric fan, okay? Him and Bianca, they're like, I was like, didn't really care for him. This man was in Dragon Age 2 and 3. 2 in Inquisition. You telling me he just dies in one hit from Solus? Like, that's your plot twist? You kill off a fan favorite character in a hit. Man's been through, like, what, 2 lives now? And he dead. He just dead. It's cool. It's all right, I guess. Thrown out the window. And at the end of my game too, after beating the Elven gods, I tricked Solus and put him back in the Veil. Solus, you telling me the dude of trickery, the dude who make it seem like he's the nicest dude and he will find any sort of way to make the life better for himself. This same dude, Solus, the Dreadwolf, we just tricked him like that. I mean, there could have been another ending where there was like two ways you could do. You could just trick him, or I think you could. I know the option wasn't to fight him because you was just straight up gonna lose that fight. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Like, I wouldn't have fought the dude either. Like, he got a lot of magic going on, but I tricked him in the end and put him in the Veil, and then the game ends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what the heck? So there was a lot wrong that they did with this game. And I just don't understand why they did what they did with this game. But before I give my final verdict, I want to talk about you as a character. You were such this goody two-shoes guy. You felt like a therapist. And that's what this game was. It was, hey, this is Dragon Age therapy. How can I help you with your problems? And you help them. And I just didn't understand why you helped all these people, and you're literally supposed to be stopping Elven gods, but you were more worried about your companions and their problems, and I just don't get why you were doing it. Also, with your character, your moveset is kind of bland. I'm not gonna lie. You do get the 3 specializations that you get to go into, but like, even before you go into the specializations, in the old Dragon Age games, there were so many more like things you could do. You could be a healer. You can go on an intro. You could go to fire. You could go to ice. Like, and then there was like the specializations that you could go into, like spear healer and all that, or blood magic. I get blood magic isn't very liked, but if you wanted to be a villain in Dragon Age, you could. And in this game, you can't. Like, what was the point? Why did y'all take things out? Y'all regressed from what made y'all franchise good. The game 10 years ago is better than the game now. Why did y'all regress? Why are we going backwards? I don't understand why we had so many, and I get it, they had so many problems making this game because it was 10 years and people didn't think it was coming out. I would not have released this game, honestly. If I'd have looked at it and that people had played it and be like, yo, what were you doing? I would have went back to the drawing board. Regardless of how much money, but I know it's EA, bro. Like, BioWare, I don't want to completely blame y'all, but I still am going to blame y'all for making this crap game. But at the same time, I got to blame EA too, because, like, why? Why do y'all continue to do things y'all do? Don't y'all ruin sports games enough? Can't y'all just get a W from something? Sports game sucks. We ain't getting Titanfall 3, and now y'all ruin Dragon Age. Oh, yeah, I forgot. The Mass Effect sucked too after Andromeda. Y'all gonna be Ubisoft in a minute, bro. I swear to God. I don't understand, like, why half the stuff in this game happened. It just happened. So for my final verdict, this game is a 4 out of 10. There ain't no way this game was even coming close to a 10 because it was terrible from the beginning of me saying he, him, them, they. I don't care about none of that, y'all. So Dragon Age, I pray to God y'all get another chance, but y'all are sitting on thin ice for me with this game. So until next time, y'all, I'm out.